fellow students at home. You are welcome to today's online teaching of Regina Pacis Modern Secondary School. I remain your business studies teacher, Mrs. Ujudin. And today we are going to look at contra entry. That is a continuation of what we did last week. Contra entry in cash book. Then at the end of this lesson, you are expected to prepare cash book with contra entry transactions. You are expected to prepare cash book with contra entry transactions. Then last week we talked about cash book, and I told you that cash book is a book of original entry where the first entry is made concerning cash and bank transaction before posting them to the ledger. I also told you that cash book has two sides, debit side on the left hand side and the credit side on the right hand side. Today we are going to look at contra entries in cash book. Contra entry is a situation whereby money may be withdrawn from bank. Money may be withdrawn from bank for office use, or part of the money in the office, that is part of the money in hand in the office, may be paid into the bank by the business owner. This transaction is done by the business owner. He may take some part of the money in the office and pay it into the bank, or he may withdraw money from the bank for office use. So, contra entry arises when a corresponding credit of a debit entry is made in the same account. When a corresponding credit of a debit entry is made in the same account. Let me explain this. In business, the business owner may decide to go to the bank and withdraw some money for office use. And the business owner may also take some part of the money in the office and deposit into the bank. This transaction is done by the business owner. And remember that I told you that every money that flows into the business, all the money that comes into the business will be debited. And every money that flows out, every payment that you made will be credited. So in this situation, when money is taken from the office and deposited into the bank, the business owner removed money from the cash in the office. That is what? A credit entry. Isn't it? And the same money goes into his bank account. In such a situation, his bank account is now the one receiving this money. So in such a situation, the bank received the money, and at the same time, payment was made from the office into the bank. That is a contra entry. This transaction will be recorded both on the debit side and also the credit side. On the debit side, you debit his bank account that receives the money. But on the credit side, you now credit the cash that made the payment into the bank. Okay, contra entry contra entry is seen in cash book with bank columns only. And in this contra entry in the cash book, you record it. You use C to indicate in the ledger folio that transaction is a contra entry. And at the end of the period, it is not posted to the ledger. This is because the double entry has been made already in the same cash book. It has a debit and a credit entry in the same cash book. So because the double entry has been completed in the same account, it will not be posted to the ledger. And you use C to indicate in the ledger column that this is a contra entry transaction. Okay, look at this illustration. April 5th, withdrew cash from bank. April 5th, withdrew cash from bank, 2,000 naira. Okay, look at the posting here. April 5th. Okay, let me explain. April 5th, withdrew cash from bank. Cash is withdrawn from the bank. And this situation, the cash is debited for being the receiver of the sum. Then bank will be credited for being the giver of the sum. And that is what we did here. Look at it here. On 5th April, we debit cash. 5th April, we debit cash. Then the same 5th April, we also do what? Credited bank. We debited cash for being the receiver of the sum, and we credited bank for being the giver of the sum. Then we come to the second example. April 7th, paid cash into bank. In this situation, bank is the receiver, should be debited, and then cash is the giver, should be credited. Okay, look at it here. On April 7th, we debited cash, which is the receiver of the sum. Then we credit cash, which is what? The giver of the sum. This is debit side and credit side. So from the explanation that I've just made, if you look at this assignment, study it very well. Take note of items of contra entry. Whenever money is paid into the bank, paid cash into the bank, or withdraw cash from the bank, you should know that it is a contra entry, and it will have debit and credit entry. So study this assignment very well. Take note of those contra entry transactions and make your posting, and then balance the same way we balance our double column cash flow. You balance the account, find the difference between debit and credit side, and that is your balance carried down, and then you balance the two sides of account. Thank you very much. Do this assignment and submit it to the business studies assignment room as usual. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.